So hello, it's Edson again, and in this video I will be talking um, about the final solution that we came up with the problem identified that I've explored in the previous video. Right. So the final solution that we came up with towards the end of the project was the design of a smart speedometer with the integrated dashboard and an integrated mobile solution. So the idea was to basically replace the dashboard of traditional bike that includes a speedometer and replace it with a integrated solution of a cell phone only. So the cell phone will be to act as a speedometer in addition to serving different functionalities for the user. For example, it will allow the call communication, navigation, and camera control in replacement for the traditional dashboard. Right. So this in this document or in this presentation, I will be briefly talking about the solution and how does it solve the problem that we identified earlier, and I will also explore the poster design that we made for this solution, and hopefully on that note, I will then end this presentation. Right. So once again, exploring the objective and the need statement. Since this is a final document for the project, apart from that, all the other documents that are relevant to this project can be found in the link that is attached with this video. But for this is the final document which covers our journey throughout the project and what we did, what went wrong, what went right, or what did not went right, and how did we improve onto the solution, and what was the final concluding solution that came up with. So once again, the objective of the need statement is iterated as can be read here. Then the project significance is pretty much the same as before. It covers the stats and figure for the road traffic accidents and then the number of road accident that we identified according to our data and statistic. Right. So the solution that we I proposed or designed had couple of main elements which had to be identified using the functional architecture. So functional architecture basically tells us about the major components of our solution, which we, as I mentioned earlier, will be the call communication, navigation, video recording system, and road disruption detection system. Since delivery riders on regular basis have to communicate with their clients and customers, so there was a necessary domain to be considered within a solution, which was of call communication while commuting or traveling. Similarly, they have to navigate to unknown places, and so they have to continuously refer to the map on their cell phone. So for that, the other domain that we had to take care of was the navigational system using voices and visuals. And apart from that, we also required the video recording system using the camera, since to improve to allow the delivery rider to improve onto their with their commute, and also uh, provide an evidence in case there is some sort of an accident. Provide legal uh, evidence in case there is some sort of accident or some sort of discrepancy with some other riders on the or traffic, um, with some other car riders or bike riders. And similarly, the other consideration that we had to take in account towards the end was the road disruption detection system, since road here usually have large bumps and potholes, which usually become the major cause of road accidents as well. So the solution that we proposed was post explored these four major domains, and this functional architecture pretty much sums up these domains and as to how our solution would take care of these domains. Right. So once we have the functional architecture, the next step was to design a functional overview or the physical overview of the system, and what would be the factor that will go into it and how they will interconnect with each other. So the block diagram that you're seeing on the screen is basically the physical architecture of the design solution. So as you can see, the solution that whatever that maybe because initially this block diagram was designed without a specific solution in mind, which later become the dashboard integrated mobile system. For that solution, we had to have these parameters. For example, a user should be able to interact with it. It should include phone, which are design solution of integrated dashboard usually eventually did. And then there will had to be some sort of wall outlet to allow charging and charging of the sorry there had to be some sort of wall outlet to allow the charging of this device. And similarly, these other block system that you can see, communication interface, video recording, and user input, voice input disruptions, all have to be processed by some sort of processing device, with whether it is microprocessor or microcontroller. So which have to be either of the cell phone itself or have to be designed separately. And for the road disruption, we will have the ultrasonic sensing, GPS and gyroscope, accelerometer, and a couple of other sensors of the cell phone were used to obtain the data regarding the position, regarding the acceleration, elevation, and to detect the bumps, potholes, and the distance to from the other cars and other vehicles to design the solution. Right. So after the physical architecture, we have the morphological chart, which tells us about the available tools and techniques that we can use to implement our solution. So this table, you can go through it. It details required elements and tools which will help us serve the design of our solution. Similarly, the final concept summarizes all the proposed domains of the solution and how does they interconnect with each other, and what are the parameters involved and how are they implemented as well. And finally, moving on to the prototype that we started with was relatively simple. It was simply made out of uh, this cardboard to be mounted on the dash, to be mounted on the bike. So and it's capable of holding a cell phone, which will eventually record the screen upfront, and will also provide the navigation and directional indicators to the rider, and will also alerts to aware the driver of the road condition. Apart from this specific prototype, we also designed an app, integrated app, which included all the three mentioned domains into a single integrated app to allow accessing of of the different sensors as well as camera and gyroscope and other such sensors using one single app alone, which we designed using MIT App Inventor. Similar, the details of this app can also be found within the link attached. So apart from that, app as a prototype for our solution, these are basically the screens of the designed app, and they serve, for example, this Bluetooth one helps us connect the cell phone from some external device, for example, earpiece or headphones, or then the camera control solution allows the recording of the road up front, and similarly the navigational maps tells us the user to navigate to a specific place. So the special thing about the app is that it integrates all the required functionalities within one app, so user won't have to worry about changing the app screen, or will have to sort of switch between different screens of the cell phone. So, and lastly, we prototype the disruption detection method using MATLAB code of image processing. So for the for prototyping purposes, we simply use points and to replicate the image of the potholes on the road, which were to be detected using a MATLAB image processing tools. And as you can see, this is an actual pothole which is detected by the MATLAB, and thus we can generate the corresponding alerts to aware the rider. And finally, moving on to the goals and ideal metrics, it summarizes all our proposed domains for the solution and the related metrics to measure the efficiency of the solutions. So you can go through this table as well to look at that. And the last step was to basically prototype was to ask the feedback from the user for our design and proposed model, and do the cost analysis of the entire system. The details of it then can again be found within this document. And then we have concluded and have explained how the whole process of designing the solution was, and what were the challenges that we faced, and how did we overcome those challenges, and how our proposed solution is better in terms of cost effectiveness, efficiency, and providing a safe commute to the user compared to other traditional solutions that I discussed earlier. And yeah, so I think that brings us to our end. These couple of tables and this chart explore talks about the same thing as I did within the previous document. So can go through them as well. And right. So I think this is it as far as the documentation of the final project is concerned, and the prototype that we designed. Again, I have discussed these, but the models, for example, the CAD models, the actual app itself, and the actual MATLAB row disruption detection method can be again find within the documentation within the documentation link that I have attached with this video. And finally, I will just briefly talk about the posters that we designed to convey our idea to the audience. So this was the initial poster that we designed. As you can see, this tells us about the three main proposed solution, which is the camera control, call communication, and navigation using the using an integrated app, which will eventually protect the driver or the bike rider. And this one is the concept poster, so it conveys as much information as it can without with basically minimum what's possible. Apart from that, we have this technical poster which talks about the details of the app design and the technical details and statistics and figures as well. But these two posters were pretty dry in terms of aesthetics, as they say, and apparently it included too much text information, so we had to redesign these posters, and the final poster that we designed looked something like this, which just looks something like this. As you can see, it conveys the same information, but much more in much more aesthetically pleasing manner. As you can see, we have the camera control solution, the navigation, and the call communication, and it conveys the idea that the person or the stakeholder that we are trying to around which the whole solution is constructed are basically the delivery riders. So this was the concept poster, and apart from that, this was the technical poster, which conveys how much which conveys the technical aspects of our solution in terms of statistic and figure to aware the audience of what the problem is, what is its significance, and finally talks about the key features of our solution in terms of camera control, call communication, and navigation system. Right. So I think that is it as far as the documentation of the project is concerned. I have attached all the relevant links regarding the coding, regarding the MATLAB code, and the app design, and all the other relevant files with the link attached with this video. So you can go through them if you like, and if you have any suggestions, so please do email me regarding this project, how it can be improved or what can be changed. Right. So I think that is it, and I will see you in the next video.